Good afternoon, everyone. My name is meteorologist Heather Kane. It's time for our daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor Show. Thank you guys, as always, for sponsoring our videos. Their links are in the description below. So let's get right into our weather headlines. This should be the last day for storm system Frank, as he will be moving off the east coast later on this afternoon into the evening. There is a chance to see some marginally severe weather for parts of the east coast. We'll talk about that. And then getting into tomorrow, we'll see a chance for severe weather once again in the Central Plains. It should just be a very low chance, but we'll talk about that. And then lastly, we are watching for our next system, which we will not be naming officially yet, but will be Gabriella once it does happen, and that will potentially be happening at the end of the week. So before we get into our forecast, we do have a few events coming up. The first one is the C3 Lunch and Learn. I believe this is all commercial information. This will be right here at the Hail Palace on the 3rd floor on May 10th. So this is free. We'll have free lunch, and of course you'll learn a whole bunch of, you'll get to learn more information about things. So come on by, sign up. The more information is right here in this graphic, and I believe we'll probably have something on our Facebook page as well. And then a new event, we just added this today, May 13th, here in Oklahoma City at the River Oaks Golf Course. We are having a contractor blueprint seminar. So this is once again on May 13th, and more information can be found on our Facebook page as well, or check out this graphic for more info. So here are occurrence conditions across the lower 48. For the most part, we're relatively quiet. Lots of sunshine in the middle of the country, so plenty of sunshine, no storms to really talk about. Some rain in the northwest, but you can see we still have that trailing cold front associated with Storm Frank along the east coast. There are a few storms going on right now that are severe warned. Otherwise, it is moderate to heavy rain and a few storms here and there. So in terms of our current temperatures, you can see where that cold front is. Ahead of it, we have temperatures in the 60s to even all the way up to the lower 80s down in Miami. Behind that cold front, we have temperatures cooling down into the upper 50s. It's only 57 in Kansas City, 42 in Fort Wayne. A little bit chilly right now. Minneapolis here only at 35. So you can see those two clashing air masses with the cold front. So here is our HRRR model for this afternoon. You guys know the deal. This is just one run of one particular model, but we will have some storms continuing to fire up here along and ahead of that cold front from parts of Maryland all the way into Virginia and into the Carolinas, mostly North Carolina though. And as we get into the afternoon and we get that heating of the day and that instability starts to build up a bit, we can see some more robust thunderstorm activity develop here in central Virginia. So Richmond, you can see some storms between 3 and 4 p.m. Central Time, so 4 and 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And then as we get later on into the afternoon, Raleigh, you can get in on the action around 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So some more storms will continue to develop along that cold front. And then as we get to around 10 p.m. Eastern Time, that cold front will start to move off the coast, and we should start to dry out after that as this system moves into the Atlantic Ocean. So let's take a look at our hail forecast for today. This is sponsored by C3 Group. Thanks again, you guys, for sponsoring. Not a whole lot in terms of hail is expected today. This is basically a weakening system. We do have that instability in the heating, but it's not a whole lot. But it could be enough to produce some hail from up to $half size from Raleigh northward to Richmond. So a low chance, but any storm that does get going could produce hail up to that size. And then in terms of wind, up to 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible. Again, a pretty low chance as this system moves off the east coast from Richmond to Raleigh to Columbia, South Carolina, and into southeastern Georgia. That should stay to the east of Atlanta, as that front has, I believe, already pushed on through. So that is for today, and today should be the last day for Frank as he moves off the coast. But let's take a look at tomorrow. We do have a chance to see some spotty storms once again in the Central Plains with a little disturbance. We'll be okay in the morning into the beginning of the afternoon, but this is at 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. You can see some isolated storms could potentially develop here in southwestern Kansas into southeastern Colorado, and then getting into the rest of tomorrow evening, we could see some more development of storms, and they'll move on to the east. This is at 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. And then as we get into later on into the evening and the overnight hours, Wichita, you could see a storm. I think most of the activity should stay to your west though, and then they should die off as we get into tomorrow night into the overnight hours. So not a huge chance. So let's take a look at the areas that we will be watching for tomorrow's activity. This is sponsored by American Contractor Show. Thank you guys for sponsoring our videos as always. So here is the area that we'll be watching tomorrow afternoon. Again, not a big area, and I think for the most part, there aren't a whole lot of areas of population, but Garden City, Kansas, all the way down to Amarillo, you could see up to $half size hail for those storms that could, get going along that dry line here. And you can see I did keep out Wichita. I think, again, like I just said a few moments ago, most of that activity should stay to the west of Wichita. By the time they get to you guys, it should, the severe weather potential pretty much just drops off. So that is for the hail for tomorrow. And then for the wind, same deal, up to 60-mile-per-hour gusts are possible in the same areas from Garden City southward to Amarillo. So small chance for severe weather tomorrow, but is there something bigger to watch? So let's check out the jet stream sponsored by Merlin Law Group. And here we go. Storm system Frank is in the northeast right now. As we get into the rest of the day today and into tomorrow, storm system Frank will be moving off the coast, and then we will have some ridging in place for most of us as we get into tomorrow. But you can see a little bit of a wave here that could spark off those storms for tomorrow. And then here comes that next big trough. This could become storm system Gabriella. We got to watch this. If it does become named, it will be either Thursday or Friday. We have to really watch how this all unfolds. But this trough we'll be watching next as we get into Thursday. And then Friday, you can see that starts to take that negative tilt. That's what we like to see when we look for severe weather, as that instability and heat basically gets built up there. So this is Friday, and then it will be moving on to the east on Saturday. So let's take a look at the areas that we'll be watching for Thursday and Friday. This is Thursday. We do have a chance from Wichita down to maybe as far east as Oklahoma City and into parts of southern Oklahoma into northern parts of Texas here. A pretty small area, not a whole lot of storms are expected to fire up. It's a very marginal chance. But then as we get into Friday, that is the better day that we will be watching for the potential for severe weather. And that will be stretching from Omaha southward to maybe as far east as Kansas City, Wichita, down into Oklahoma City, maybe as far south as Dallas. As of right now, it may stay just to your north, so we got to watch that very carefully. And as always, of course, stay tuned to Hail Trace as we get closer to Thursday and Friday. So that's all I have for you today. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and we also have a TikTok, so make sure you follow us there as well. And if you have any questions, concerns, if you just want to say hi, you can give us a call at 855-334-4245. You can email us at info@hilltrace.com and check out our website at www.hilltrace.com. And I am meteorologist Heather Kay. I hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday.